Celebrity Big Brother episode 5 was the first live eviction, and I don't think anybody was surprised with who went. He wasn't interesting, he wasn't a celebrity, and I don't think anybody's going to miss him. During this episode, the celebrities were sent to a celebrity retreat, and they all sat round and they were talking about their feelings and stuff, and things about their life, and I don't think Big Brother expected this to get as deep as it did. Because there was people crying, everything was emotional, and it was actually quite good to watch. When Bradley was talking about coming out, everybody was getting super emotional, and it really just goes to show that even the younger generation struggle with things like this. Like, in my mind, it's just easy for younger people to come out, because in my group of friends and the people that I know who are gay, they managed to come out without that many problems, and it wasn't really such a big deal. And as you get older, people are just comfortable talking about these things. But Bradley's young, and he was obviously getting emotional, and he had a hard time coming out, so I actually felt really bad for him, but everybody was like in floods of tears. During the retreat, Gary was talking to everybody and trying to open up, and Ekin-Su, Sharon and Louis just weren't having it. But then later, Ekin-Su was totally bitching about him, and I felt as if it was uncalled for, because they were like in the corner talking about him, going, oh, he feels uncomfortable, he's not comfortable in this house, like he's not a celebrity. Like, he already knows that he's not a celebrity, and he's going to feel more uncomfortable in the house knowing that people are just bitching about him. And I was like, aye, okay, shouldn't have been in there, but the guy literally didn't stand a chance. Once the housemates had relaxed a little bit and got to know each other, it was obviously time for Big Brother to tell them about the rule break, and he told the house what was said. Now, I feel as if Zizi took this way too harsh, and when her and Lauren were arguing, she was so patronising towards Lauren, when she was like, oh, do you know what hate means? Honestly, fuck, I don't know how Lauren stood there so calmly, and she still stood there and tried to apologise to her. But Zizi was just being a nasty bitch, right? And I'd have been like, Zizi hen, this is not about you. I was upset because people nominated me, and I was paranoid because I didn't know who it is, and you're in here screaming in my face. Aye, okay, maybe you don't hate me, but the way you're speaking to me now, I fucking hate you. Now sit the fuck down. I actually can't stand her. Like, I know that she's in there because she's trying to prove that she's not an angry black woman, and I only found out a couple of years ago that this was a stereotype of black women, right? I had never heard this before. Now, while not all black women are angry, she is an angry woman, and that's a fact. It's got nothing to do with her skin tone. She attacked Lauren for no reason, and she kept going at her, and Lauren just stood there and cried. I'd have been like, who the fuck are you talking to, bitch? So Louis and Lauren had to stand up in front of the house and give an apology, and I really felt as if Lauren felt bad, and she was like, I'm really sorry, I didn't mean to cause any aggravation in the house, I didn't mean to upset people, blah blah blah. And Louis was just like, well, I'm sorry, there's nothing more to say. And to be fair, he was right, there wasn't much more to say, but it wasn't as if the rest of the house got in trouble for this, although they could have, right? But in this situation, the rest of the house weren't punished. So Louis and Lauren get put out into the celebrity wheelie bin, and they had to write a letter. So when it actually showed you them writing the letter, and Louis was like, oh, just say sorry, that's basically all you can say. I thought, that's not going to be the full letter, right? But then when poor Lauren, right, stood up to read that out, and it was literally just like a couple of lines, and everybody was just sitting, looking and waiting. And the longer it was going on, the longer I was like, oh my god, right? She went and sat down, and it was so awkward. But then when it went to the presenters, and they were just standing like awkward as well, I was pissing myself, right? I was like, that is the worst letter of apology that's ever existed in life. Louis and Sharon were in Sharon's bedroom talking about X Factor and Simon Cowell, and he was like, oh, would you go back to the show? And she was explaining that she had a chance to be on The Masked Singer, and she turned it down to do X Factor, and then he replaced her. But then Louis always talks about Simon as if he's his friend, and he's like, he's a good friend, he's really loyal and all that. But then when Sharon said that she was dropped from the show, and then Simon phoned, Louis was like, oh, what, he phoned? He actually phoned you? As if like, oh my god, the great Simon Cowell picked up the phone to speak to you like a fucking human being. And I was like, if you work with somebody for years, right, and you're claiming that they're your friend, and then you're shocked when they pick up the phone to actually speak to you, then that's not a friend, right? Obviously he's just your boss, and you're not actually friends. And it actually baffles me the way Louis defends Simon, because if Simon Cowell phoned him, he'd be like, oh my god, Simon Cowell is phoning me. Like, no, Louis, right, he's not your pal. But then when Sharon was talking about Simon, and she was saying how, oh, I didn't like it when he would say, oh, do you have another song, do you have another song? And they would be like, oh yeah, I've got another track, like I'll just pull it out my arse. I was pissing myself, right? Because as we all know, well, the people who watch American Idol know, he did this to Adam Lambert, right? And Adam Lambert had different songs with him, and he asked them to sing a different track, and they all passed Adam Lambert, and Simon says no because he was more like a show tune singer, right? It was more like a stage singer. And to this day, right, Adam Lambert goes on X Factor and all these other shows where Simon Cowell is, and he's so nice, right? And he's like, hi, oh, it's great to be here, nice to see you, Simon. I'd be like that, oh, hi Simon, remember that time that he says I was only good to sing show tunes and now I'm the lead singer of Queen? How do you like me now? Before Lauren and Louis went into the Celebrity Wheelie Bin, Lauren approached ZZ and asked if she could get a hug. Now, I'm not saying that ZZ should have just stood up and gave her a hug just because, right? But Lauren was like, oh, for the sake of the house, I don't want to cause animosity, I don't want things to be awkward. And ZZ was like, well, if you're only doing it for the sake of the house, then I don't want to do it. And obviously, she was angry at the time, right? But the way she spoke to her, she was just being a complete bitch. If that had been me, I'd have been like, look, I'm too angry right now, and you're upset, so let's just come back to this later, when we can speak about it without shouting, instead of being like, no, if you're just doing it for the house, and don't bother. And I was like, she has got such an attitude problem, right? And this is coming from somebody who used to have serious anger issues, right? And I understand that Lauren is not completely innocent either, because when she stood up and she was reading that letter, she was like, oh, we're sorry, it was just completely banter. And it's like, it wasn't banter though, because you were bitching about her behind her back, and Louis was like, oh, we need to get her out, because for some reason he really hates her. And then when Louis got out the wheelie bin, he approached ZZ and he was like, oh, hi darling, you're looking really lovely today. I'd have been like, are you ratting the piss? Are you ratting it? You're coming up to obviously get me to fall in with Lauren, and the first thing you say is you look lovely. Like as if I'm going to be like, thanks Louis, oh thank you, I look lovely, oh thanks for the compliment. Like, fuck off. So in the end, Gary was evicted from the house. Nobody was surprised. Does anybody actually care? They obviously got him in there to talk about Kate Middleton because she supposedly went missing and nobody can find her. And in one of my videos, I was talking about the royal family and saying, does anybody actually give a fuck, right? And I work with people who really like the royal family. And one of them was saying, oh, they only got him in there to get gossip about Kate and it's out of order and all that. And regardless of whether I'm interested in the royal family or not, it is a bit out of order that they've got her uncle in to try and talk about her illness or where she is. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit snaky, especially when they pull somebody in who's not even a celebrity. In my last video, I was saying that the presenters on the Late and Live show were saying, oh, Sharon's really there, she's really earning her keep and all that for $500,000. And I was like, no, she's definitely not earned that money being in there. Although I stand by that, she is quite entertaining, and at least she's open and she's giving the celebrity gossip and she's giving us something to laugh at. Most of the housemates I actually really like, except I think Lou's a bit of a bitch. Ekin-Su, every time I see her I feel as if she's just getting nastier. And ZZ, I just can't even stand her. I just can't stand her bad attitude. But let me know in the comments who your favourite housemates are, and I'll see you tomorrow.